Have you ever said to yourself, I want to buy a home, but where do I start? Well, that's a great question, and that's why I made this video, a how-to guide for your first time buying a home, to guide you through the whole sales transaction. So, these are the 3 things that will let you know that you are ready to buy a home now. You have to have income, a work history of 2 years or more, but 2 years of consistent working to show your income. Doesn't have to be at the same job, but it just has to be consistent for 2 years. Your credit score. Out here in North Carolina, you at least have to have a 640, and your middle credit score matters the most. Some loans will let you go as low as a 620, but it depends on the type of loan that you're getting. Also, the location. Do you see yourself staying at this location and in the home for at least 15 to 30 years? Which the loan is going to be a 15 or 30-year loan in the home, or raising your family in that home for that long period of time, which allows you to build up equity and get some tax write-offs when owning a home, but consult with your accountant in regards to the taxes. After you said yes to those steps, the income, the credit score, and the location, and the time you want to spend in the home, we go down to the down payment. You have to have the down payment. The down payment is usually 3% of the loan amount, which you would have to have at closing. And then there's closing costs, which is separate from the down payment. Those are fees just to close the loan. For example, your interest rate, you might have to buy down the interest rate just to get a lower interest rate. The closing cost goes towards the title, the taxes, the lawyers, just to close the home. And it's usually 3% or lower of the loan amount the closing cost could be. So the next step, you have all of those in place: the down payment, your income, your credit, and location. Now you want to get pre-approved. So now we have the VA loan or the USDA loan, which is a 0% down loan, depending on what you qualify for. Then there's the FHA or the conventional loan, which your down payment will have to be 3% of the loan amount or less. This will let you know what you're qualified for. It'll let you know your monthly payments so you won't be breaking the bank. It'll show you how much you can afford, and how much you can afford depends on your debt to income ratio. So you want the pre-approval letter, and it lets your agent know what you're pre-approved for, so you won't be shopping for $300,000 homes when you're only approved for $250,000. So the next step would be, after you're pre-approved, you would have to go find a realtor. Now, the realtor is a buyer's agent that will be representing you on the sales transaction, sort of like your lawyer for buying the home. You have representation. Now, how you should choose a realtor. You want someone with excellent customer service, someone that will stay in contact with you and guide you through the whole process from start to finish. And that is there with knowledge and be able to answer all your questions in regards to buying a home, because it is your first time. And you are going to have lots of questions in regards to buying a home. After you choose your realtor, then they will be able to set up a home search for you, and we'll be able to consult with you and find out what is important to you in regards to finding a home. For example, Do you have to have a 2-car garage? Or do you have to have a big master bedroom, a big yard, walk-in closets? You're not going to find everything in a home. You're not going to find the perfect home. But we have to see what matters to you, what is most important that you can't live without, and be able to find that home for you inside of your price range. After we find that home for you, or after I find that home from you, then we'll be making an offer on the home. Now, making an offer on the home, you want your offer to be attractive, because the seller does have 3 options on the offer. He could either reject it, counter the offer, or accept the offer. And our main goal is to get the offer accepted. Or if the seller wants to counter the offer, that the offer is not high enough for the seller, then he can counter the offer for you to come up, and you have a choice whether you want to come up or not, or move on to the next property. So once we write up the offer, you're going to have the due diligence fee. The due diligence fee is letting the seller know that you're serious about the property and you want them to take it off the market so you can start the closing process. The escrow, there's also the escrow fee, and that goes towards your taxes and insurance if conditions are met on the home. So the due diligence fee is from $1,000 to $10,000. There's no cap here in North Carolina. Once your offer is accepted, the only out-of-pocket cost that you will pay is the inspection of the property. An inspector will come out, usually costs from $300 to $400. It depends on the square footage of the home. The larger the square footage, the more the home or the inspection is going to cost. So that's your only out-of-pocket cost. Now that the home inspection is done, well, before I go to the next step, you're probably asking yourself during the home inspection, if we find some conditions that need to be repaired, what are the steps? And that's where I come in as your realtor, or your realtor that isn't me. We would start the negotiation process with the seller's agent to find out what the seller is willing to fix. And if they're not willing to fix anything, then we can start to negotiate on the price. After negotiations and the inspections are passed, then we move to the home appraisal. The home appraisal is the final value for the home. They'll send out a home appraiser to comp the homes in the area and find out that the price or the offer that we made on the home is the right price for the home according to the data and the comps in the area. Once the home is appraised and all the paperwork and all the ducks are aligned, then we'll do the final walkthrough. Make sure there's no new damage or no new conditions to the home, and to make sure everything is intact as we've seen it throughout the process of the home. And then we get to the closing day. The closing day is when you sign all the paperwork. You'll have your check for the down payment and also the closing costs, which I explained earlier in the video with all the closing fees. Once all the paperwork is done and the money is handed in, then you'll be able to go to your new home and start your new journey. If this video is helpful, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more info and knowledge of the sales process of a home. I'll leave in the description how to get in contact with me. Oh, good luck. And I hope this video is very informative to you.